There you are, Mr. Tully. You're late for your meeting with Mr. Powers.
Mr. Fixx is Derek Powers' personal assistant and henchman. Normally, I would dive into the past of Mr. Fixx, but little is actually known of Mr. Fixx's past. He's not very talkative, but he still remains threatening nonetheless. Mr. Fixx would serve as both a chauffeur and the muscle to Derek Powers. Mr. Fixx is only but a cold, heartless brute who gets mass enjoyment from fighting and or killing. And with that ever so brief summary out the way, let me quickly go over the two episodes that I'll be looking at and discuss how I'll break them down. The episodes we'll be looking at are titled Rebirth Part 1 and Rebirth Part 2. There most definitely will be some skipping within the episodes themselves, but like always, that's just for the sake of staying focused on Mr. Fixx. And with all that out the way, let's dive right into Rebirth Part 1. Truthfully, the only things worth note within this first episode is his first appearance where he drags Tully off, and the other noteworthy thing that happens within this first episode is that Mr. Fixx was the one responsible for killing Warren McGinnis. However, Mr. Fixx, covering his tracks, makes it seem like it was an attack done by the Jokers. Now, I say these are the only noteworthy things simply because he's only on screen for a very, and I mean very, short amount of time. Like, we're talking possibly 30 to 45 seconds in total within this whole episode. But back to Mr. Fixx himself. The act of killing Terry's father and covering it up not only shows us just how brutal he is, but it also shows us he's used to doing these kinds of things. The way he covered his tracks suggests that he's not only been doing this for a while, but also suggests that he has serious skill in doing so. Mr. Fixx also seems to get joy out of threatening and hurting people, which lets us know that it's his sadistic nature that drives him to be so brutal. I should also add that we actually wouldn't get told that it was Mr. Fixx who killed Terry's father until the next episode. And speaking of the next episode, what a better time to move on to Rebirth Part 2 than now. This is where some actual depth is given to Mr. Fixx, as he now has more screen time, and as I just said, it's within this episode where we figure out that it was Mr. Fixx who killed Terry's father. But now, diving into the actual episode, we'll begin where Mr. Fixx makes his first appearance. While Terry is heading to the GCPD to deliver the disc that was given to Mr. McGinnis, he's stopped by Mr. Fixx and Derek Powers. Mr. Fixx grabs a hold of Terry and begins searching his jacket for the disc. He then starts trying to force Terry into the limo, but Terry strikes a deal with Powers to be let go. After being let go, Terry pulls the disc out and throws it. He then proceeds to kick Mr. Fixx and runs away. Skipping ahead, Terry steals the batsuit and tracks Powers down to the Wayne Powers Tower. While listening in on the conversation between Powers and Egan's, Terry hears about how lethal the gas truly is. After Egan's leaves, Powers shows concern seeing as Terry is still alive. Mr. Fixx tells Powers not to worry and then reveals that he is the one who killed Warren McGinnis. I should also note that during the meeting and whenever Mr. Fixx brings up killing Warren, Mr. Fixx is smirking. This goes back to what I was saying about him being cold and heartless. Mr. Fixx is a ruthless brute devoid of any sense of morality or mercy. He truly takes great pleasure in hurting and killing others. It's almost as if that's what he believes his purpose to be. But now, skipping ahead once again, at the loading bay, Batman gets spotted and quickly confronts Powers and Mr. Fixx. However, while Batman is talking to Powers and Mr. Fixx, a guard in a forklift-type machine knocks Batman away. Powers then tells Mr. Fixx to get the hovercraft into the air, and Mr. Fixx does just that. After a short little game of cat and mouse with Powers, Batman flies up to the hovercraft and grabs one of the wings. Batman then drags and throws two guards out of the hovercraft and enters said hovercraft, where a fight between Batman and Mr. Fixx, who is now armed with electrified knuckle dusters, is initiated. However, the fight is anything but long. as after Batman punches Mr. Fixx, he falls back and his electrified knuckle dusters smash into the control panel of the hovercraft. This causes him to not only be electrocuted, but it also causes the hovercraft to shut down and plummet into the water. And that would be the last time we would see Mr. Fixx, as he would drown within the hovercraft. There's truthfully not much to say about his character other than that he's a ruthless brute with a one-track mind that's set on violence. However, Mr. Fixx will always be an important character as he's Terry's Joe Chill. Much like Bruce, the death of Terry's father is what drove him to dig further into the situation as a whole, and it's also what caused Terry to become Batman. So, for that simple fact, Mr. Fixx will forever be an important character, and even with there not being much else to say about him, he still plays a key part in the story of Terry McGinnis. But now, let's move on to the design and voice actor of Mr. Fixx. His design is actually one of the simpler designs that I think is handled perfectly and works in the character's favor. However, the two things I'll highlight are his scar and his trench coat. The scar shows us that he's not afraid to get into a fight of any kind, as it was most likely done by a knife, and the trench coat is normally something that cold and ruthless people wear in shows like this, so it fits perfectly. As for the voice actor of Mr. Fixx, he was voiced by the great George Takei, who played Hikaru Sulu in Star Trek the original series, the first ancestor in Mulan, and my personal favorite, Kaito Nakamura in the show Heroes. However, George Takei has starred in many, and I do mean many, great roles. So huge shout out to George Takei. With all that said though, this has been the maliciously fierce life of Mr. Fixx. If you made it this far into the video, comment down your favorite episode from Batman Beyond. I always love to hear y'all's opinions. Also, like always, huge shout out to Mercenary X84 for still being a member, and the fact that you're going on 4 months is actually wild to me. I truly can't thank you and everyone else enough for all of the support, love, and patience that y'all have been giving me. It seriously means the world to me. But with all my ramblings out the way, it's been ugly, and I'll see y'all in the next one.